Hello and welcome to math class. Today we are going to talk about lattice multiplication. Lattice multiplication is a method of multiplying large numbers using a grid. To show you how to use lattice multiplication, we are going to start with an example. We're going to start with 2,324 times 1,421. First, we're going to draw a grid that has enough rows and columns to fit the numbers we're multiplying together. Next, you're going to draw dotted lines diagonally in each box. We start with dotted lines so that we can see the perimeter of each box when we're doing our multiplication. Here comes the fun part. In each box, we are going to multiply the number that corresponds with that row and column. So here we have 1 and 4. So instead of writing just 4, we have to have a 2-digit number. So we have 0, 4. I like to go ahead and start with the first row and work my way down. So I've done the first row here, as you can see. So we've started with 1 times 2 is 0, 2. 1 times 3 is 0, 3. 1 times 2 is 0, 2. And 1 times 4 is 0, 4. Go ahead and pause the video and try to fill out the grid on your own. You can check your answers on the next slide. Do your answers match mine? If not, that's okay. You can go ahead and pause the video and get a couple more minutes of practice in, but if you're ready, go ahead and move on to the next slide. This next part is important. Go ahead and darken those dotted lines that we made earlier. This creates new boundaries on our grid that will be important in the next step. We are now going to begin adding in these diagonal lines that we have just created. We are now going to begin adding in these diagonal lines that we have just created. As you can see in the bottom right diagonal, we just have a 4. So we will just write a 4 below that diagonal line. In the next diagonal line, we have an 8, a 0, and a 2. 8 plus 0 plus 2 equals 10. So we put a 0 in that blank, and we carry the 1 into the next diagonal line. Go ahead and pause your video and try to fill out your lattice chart on your own. Did you get what I got? Again, if you didn't, have no worries. You can go ahead and pause the video again and get a little more practice. Practice makes perfect in math, guys. Now that we have filled out our lattice chart, we know that our answer is 3,302,404. That is quite a large number, and that would have been really hard with standard multiplication techniques. Thank goodness we learned lattice multiplication. Now, of course, I can't let you go without some more practice, so here's another example for y'all to work on. Go ahead and work on this while you're at home, and if you have any questions, please let me know, and we will begin working with decimals and lattice multiplication tomorrow.